we have what I think is actually a pretty interesting topic for our latest podcast. Thanks for joining in to Real Talk. Real Talk with Realtors about real estate, real stuff, real things, and whatever else we want to talk about. And today is the biggest changes in real estate. So it's a two-parter. We have what is the biggest change in real estate over the last 10 years and what is the biggest change in real estate in the next 10 years.
Yeah, what do we predict or what do we think is going to? Both are
an opinion.
Exactly.
It's an opinion piece.
It's an opinion.
So Brandy, what do you think?
I should talk about, the last 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think the biggest change in real estate
You should talk about the next 10 years because you're the smart one.
I'm the future.
You're the future.
You're the past.
I'm
just
so
kidding.
Old.
I would bet money that you're in this business for longer than 10 more years.
Oh, God.
You will.
Anyway, okay. So the past 10, I think hands down, the past 10 years, the biggest change in the real estate industry, and it might have been 12 years ago, but give or take a few years, is Zillow. Zillow and or websites like that. But Zillow is clearly the dominant, what do you call that? Company? $1 billion real estate search.
Search engine?
Yeah, because the stat is, you might have to help me with this, but more people are Googling Zillow than they're Googling real estate.
Yeah. Yes.
Like Zillow is...
Like the word Zillow.
Is synonymous, is that how you say it? With
real estate. At this point. People think real estate, they think Zillow.
I know, and that's insane. And the problem... Okay, well, let's not talk about the problem. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, all of this information belonged to the realtors.
Yeah.
You could not get this information online. You could not get it anywhere unless you called a realtor and they gave you the information.
Yep.
Somewhere along the line, whether it was NAR, National Association of Realtors, or the associations, actually, I think it's by association now. Mm-hmm. So your association does not have to give their data to Zillow.
Correct.
Because Tehama didn't do that for a very long time. I don't know if they're still doing that.
But that, at this point in time, is a huge disservice to your client.
Huge. You've got to be on Zillow because more people are Googling Zillow than they're Googling real estate. So if you're a homeowner and your house is not on Zillow and you're trying to sell it,
it's an issue.
You're not going to get the traffic.
Yeah.
But we sold the information to companies like Zillow. It became public knowledge, and now people can just get this data where they couldn't before. And that has changed the way we get clients. The information is all there. It's even the way we do day-to-day business has changed, because I will have clients that call me and say, hey, I saw this house. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's on this street and it's got this big yard and I want to go see it. And I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah.
They know more about it than I do.
Yeah, because they get the auto emails as soon as something comes up.
Showing up on their phone in 2 seconds.
Yep.
And
I didn't even sign up for that on Zillow, and Zillow is emailing me new
Right.
listings. And I don't even know how that happened. I don't know how they have my email.
Right.
I have no idea.
And then Zillow also they definitely have control of the realtors if you are part of if you pay to be an advertiser there or pay to get leads from Zillow. They're really tightening down on that. In a small town like Chico, to me, that makes a really big difference. So, my brother could call into Zillow and then I have to pay Zillow a portion if he buys a house. It's really...
Let this be a PSA. Just call direct to your realtor. Don't go through Zillow.
Don't go through Zillow, because you may not know this, but in a lot of cases, if they're on this specific group that's called Flex, which was a chosen group by Zillow, we had to go through, an interview and on a panel and all of these things, which was great. And I'm not complaining about this. I'm just stating the fact. We pay them a pretty good size referral fee for that. Yep. So they get a big chunk of our commission if you call. And so if we know you already, or if you know your realtor, try not to call Zillow.
Yeah, just call them direct. You're not bugging them, I promise.
Yeah, that's what people say. I don't want to bug my realtor.
Yeah, we weren't ready. But now your realtor owes a % of their commission to Zillow. So just call or text them.
Right.
Always.
And not every realtor, because not every realtor is on Flex. Right. But
either way,
the realtor you're calling is also being rated because they have AI listening to our conversations. I probably shouldn't be saying all this, but what the heck? What are they going to do? Put me in jail?
Brandy's going out on a limb. But
because I haven't had alcohol, sugar, or caffeine for 8 days.
until you ate some of that peanut butter
I
cup.
know. She's high on peanut butter cup.
Gave her a little sugar rush.
I only took a bite, but it was pretty damn good.
It was so good.
Okay. We got sidetracked.
So Zillow took advantage. Zillow built a great platform
They
and
really did.
easy access. And it is nice from an agent's perspective that a buyer does get those listings, gets to see them, gets to look at them obsessively, and then whittle it down to what they want to see with us. Like that is helpful, I think. And they don't feel like they're missing out on any homes.
But
because
the
they get to
MLS
see
could have
them.
done that. Realtors could have done that then.
The MLS could directly to
Yes,
email them.
they could have.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
so
But before, I'm thinking
Realtors missed the boat. We're the ones that screwed up.
yes, and the MLSs, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking back when you had the book.
Yeah.
And then like if you have the book, your buyer doesn't have the book, obviously, then they can't look at photos over and over and over again like they like to and things like
Right.
that. But Zillow basically, they built an easy to use, great platform. And now they're taking advantage of the traffic that's been on Zillow. And they said, how can we make the traffic profitable?
Right.
And, you know, our coaching group, Tom Ferry, 3-4 years ago was saying this is going to happen. More and more companies are going to be wanting a piece of your pie.
Yep.
And he had warned us that this was the direction that we're going. So, you know, that's the biggest change in the last 10 years. And now in the next 10 years, we have to figure out what pivots we need to make to honestly be able to keep our own money. It's hard, but
Right.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be part of real estate, and I don't know that the general public really cares that because they probably all think that we get paid too much anyway.
Sure.
But I
You
do
wouldn't
think
if you were in
that
real
is
estate.
right. Exactly. Do we have to go through? Then we got to pay the broker. Then we got to pay the IRS. Then we got to pay our dues. Then we got to pay the anyway. Whatever. That's a whole nother podcast.
Piece of the pie. Everyone
Yeah.
got their fingers.
Just
in
like
the
for
pie.
every
It's
industry.
just everything. Yeah. And when you run a business, you pay for stuff. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
Not complaining about that at all.
No. I think actually realtors are paid well. If you
Yeah.
work hard, you can make a lot of money in this business.
Yeah.
But back to Zillow, they've just really changed how realtors work in general and how buyers actually see the information. I do think there are pros and cons to all of that.
Yeah.
Like the Zestimates. That's a con.
That's a con because it's wrong. If they were correct,
Typically.
it would be a pro.
If you want a tip, or I mean a hack as they're called these days, go to Zillow, go to realtor.com, and go to Redfin and put your address in and see what the 3 different values are.
Yeah. They can't possibly all be right.
No, they're all different. Usually. Now, I have come across some that are very similar. So, but
Few and far
usually I've seen them be as far as $100,000 difference.
Yeah, when I looked mine up not that long ago, I'm in like a cookie cutter neighborhood, and there was I think a $50,000 or $60,000 difference between 2 of the sites. So
Yeah, that's
and I
big.
know what my house is worth, obviously. So I feel like it wasn't even accurate. One of them said really low because the house here you go. The house across the street from me, same size, like similar square footage, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, completely different look, different floor plan, had some funky stuff, and backed up to apartments. And so they're judging my Zestimate based off of the sale of that house, even though my house across the street is worth way more because I don't back up to apartments.
Right.
And that
you did a lot of upgrades
And
to
a
it
lot
as
of
well.
upgrades. Like their house from like 2005, mine's from 2022.
And did yours have like RVX? Or
We have RV, we have solar, so many differences.
So many things. You
And they're
have
just
to-
going off of price per
So
square foot.
don't look at your Zestimate, but look at it just to see like on those 3 platforms and
Yeah.
just see the difference. That's all. That'd be cool.
And, you know, obviously I think a lot of people who own homes know if they need an accurate estimate or, you know,
Yeah.
of their value to go to a realtor.
I think a lot of people do
Or
get
appraiser.
that, but I still every once in a while get people saying, "Well, Zillow
This
says it's
says,
this
yeah.
much." So,
Yeah.
so let's talk about
Okay.
the next 10 years.
Okay, let me look
This
at
is
my
so
crystal
confusing.
ball.
I don't even actually know what to say about
We probably
all
won't be
this.
able to talk about this as much as we can talk about the last 10 years. But the future of real estate in the next 10 years, and I think that it's honestly every single industry, is AI. And the amount that
What
AI...
does that stand for?
Artificial intelligence.
Okay, just asking.
The amount that AI has already changed the game for us in our business, like what Courtney and Emily are able to do with ChatGPT and all the plugins that come with ChatGPT and the stuff that's coming out within Adobe Premiere, like all this different, and Canva, all the AI, it's making life easier, but you have to know how to use it. You have to know how to prompt it. So now, yes, like I know how to use ChatGPT, but what are the prompts to get the content that you need out of it or the answers you need out of it? And then I don't, like, my brain cannot comprehend where AI is going to go. Like, I think it's limitless possibilities. People, I think realtors talk about, oh, is it going to show houses for us soon? And that's one thing that's like, I think that's the most basic shallow thing that AI is going to be able to do. It's going to be able to do so many different things. And ideally it's going to make our lives easier and we're going to be able to help more people and serve them better. But like Zillow coming out, when it initially came out, wow, this is great. The buyer can go on and look for themselves. We didn't foresee everything that was going to happen over the next 10 to 12 years of how negatively it was going to affect our business. So I think AI is going to have pros and cons with everything. It could put some people out of business. Us, as I would say, like in the Tom Ferry network, we talk about AI a lot. So we're more about like embracing it and utilizing it and getting ahead of it rather than letting it scare us or trump us, you know?
Yeah. I let it scare me though.
You do let it scare you a little bit. I know.
I mean, because I guess I just go back to being old school where I want to build a relationship with this person. I don't want AI I am artificially intelligent. I'll be your AI.
It's that cleanse.
Yeah. Well, if you think about the word, it's not real intelligence. It's artificial intelligence. Why do they call it that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
So,
because it's not its own intelligence. It's intelligent because of all the data that's already inputted, and then it can scramble things and shoot it out.
I think they should have come up with a better name, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, that's long gone.
Not real intelligence is what we're talking about here.
Computer intelligence.
I was going to say, the relationship side of it.
There's always going to be that aspect of real estate.
Yeah, I think it's going to take away from that though. And so I don't know. It'll be, like you said, the crystal ball.
It's hard to know. But that's the thing is I don't think, like I said, I don't think I can imagine what it's going to be doing in our business. We're just going to embrace it and we're going to roll with it and we're going to pivot with it.
They're going to make me embrace it. But I'm going to go kicking and screaming.
I know. You just do what you do best. Sell real estate.
Okay. Yeah, I can
run
do that.
The team, and then
sure.
We'll,
No,
we'll work in the background with
I
AI.
am not going to completely go kicking and screaming. You guys, what I love about this team is how everybody will compliment me on things like our videos and our this and our that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know we did that. That's great. Thanks. That's because of you guys doing all those things. And so just make sure that you keep me educated, keep me artificially intelligent.
We will, for sure. Well, and as young people, like the Gen Zers are going to be buying homes in the next 10 years, they're going to want whatever AI has to offer because that's what they know.
Yeah.
So it's just like
the
people
houses
who
are gonna
faxed
change.
instead of DocuSigned.
Yeah.
It's like if you ever try to fax me something, I will kick and scream.
Mm-hmm. I know. We don't use fax at all anymore. I remember the day I asked my mom what a fax machine was.
Or people who want me to come into person to sign. DocuSign that to me.
Right. But, we have clients that that's not their jam, or they.
No, point being because I'm younger.
Right.
Yeah.
It's right.
It's the different generational thing. So as Gen Zers are buying, we're going to have to.
It's like that story with Chris Smith that he told on stage once, how his little 3-year-old wanted to change. She said, Daddy, can I change the channel? And he goes, yeah. And he was thinking in his head, and he was on his phone, but he goes, I think in his head, that's cool that she knows how to use the remote. And she walks right up to the TV, puts her hand on it, and tries to swipe the TV to change the channel, this big screen TV. And she knocked the whole TV down trying to swipe it because that's how she was 3 years old. That's what she saw, right? So
she's probably using mom's phone.
To your point, or they gave her a little thing or whatever. Yep. To your point, though, it's like that's what they know. That's all they've ever seen. So as people are born even into AI or just younger generations, like teenagers now that's just all gonna be normal. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna have to do anything. I'm just gonna walk around my house and it's probably gonna clean itself. It's gonna be great. I'll just say, Alexa or whoever, Take out the garbage.
All I want is a kitchen that cooks for me. That's all I want. I don't think that's too much
think it's
to ask.
possible.
They do. They have these like arms. I've seen it.
Do you have
It's
to buy
very
the groceries
expensive.
or can they do that too?
I know. Well, you can have them delivered. That'll be amazing. I'm putting this out there to the universe that we're going to have kitchens that cook
We're
for
going
us.
to be the Jetsons. Do you guys know what that is? The Jetsons?
No, never heard of them.
Well,
We're not that young.
Well, that means they were around for a long time because they were
Yeah.
around when I was a kid. Like a kid.
They were on when I was a kid.
So they were around a long time. Hanna-Barbera? Mm-hmm. Or is that what, I think it's Hanna-Barbera. Yeah. You don't know who that is, though. Mm-hmm. Okay. My point
me.
exactly.
Stumped me.
You know that Katie Couric interview where she's talking about the internet?
No.
Like the internet just
Oh,
came out.
yes,
She's like,
yes.
Where they were like asking their like tech
Her-
guy, what's the internet? What's the World
What?
Wide Web? And it's
Her and Bryant
hilarious.
Gumbel. Bryant
Yeah.
Gumbel. That they were the. It's interesting. Yeah, you
Oh,
should.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I picture this conversation
Yes.
happening in 20 years where people are just laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my
at
gosh.
what you guys are saying.
It'd be cool if you could play that little segment in this podcast.
Allison, can you explain what internet is?
It's a computer billboard, but it's
Right.
nationwide, and it's several universities and everything all joined together. And
Right.
it's-
And others can access it.
and-
Right.
And it's getting bigger and bigger all the time.
Like
Yeah.
Kelsey and Brandy in 20 years. Perfect. Well, we'll wrap it up with that. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned for AI. The next 10 years.
Stay tuned for space intelligence. All right.
All right. See you on the next one.